Um, I am just want to quick share my story of how I even got brought on this wonderful opportunity. Diana had called me. We were in another company together, and I was kind of burnt out. I was like, I don't know if this is for me. And then when she started sharing that it had to do with leptin hormones, and I got super excited because my naturopath doctor had been helping me with my insulin resistance and using leptin products. And so it just kind of led to one thing to another. My husband, Tim, was just like, I'll support you in whatever. I just want you to feel good and be healthy and get your gut stuff under control, because it's been a long few years with working with doctors, getting this under control. So that's kind of where I came in. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to share this with people, because that's not really fair on my part to be excited knowing what it's going to do for me, all the studies. My doctor gave us a bunch of studies. Tim was researching like different foods that I could be eating that would help. We were trying everything at this point. So God's timing is amazing. And so I'm very thankful for Diana sharing this opportunity with all of us and all of you joining us today. And I'm going to send it off to, is Diana, are you next?
Elaine.
Elaine is. Okay, I just didn't see her.
She's here.
I didn't see Elaine. Is Elaine here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, hello. Good morning.
Good afternoon where I am. I'm kind of in the sun here too. So, hey, I am excited to be here and to kind of share and apologize. I am outside. I'm helping a friend move, but that's what I love about this industry and this business. You can just do it wherever, take a moment and help and share. So yeah, again, my name is ELAINE, and I have been in this wild, crazy industry that I love for 40 something years. We'll just leave it at that. And, you know, I've seen and experienced a lot of different things. I've been at the beginning of companies. And I will tell you, never in my 40 something years have I seen what's happening here happen before. And I've been blessed to, you know, pre-launch something, but not like this. And I don't say that lightly. You know, some people might be a little leery about, oh my gosh, this is a new company and is it going to work and all of the things. And I want to encourage you who's watching this, if someone's invited you on, do your homework, do your due diligence and check things out, because that's what I did. And I think it was about 8 days before we were actually able to enroll and get a website when I heard about this and decided that this was something I absolutely had to be a part of. And so I checked out Danielle Mioli, right? She's our CSO. And one of the founders. I checked that out. I checked out her background. I checked out who they had as the master distributors, because I wanted to know who is going to be there if I need help at the beginning. Are they solid? What does this foundation look like? Is this foundation built on solid ground, or, you know, are these guys just hoping that this is going to work? And the more I dug into it and the more I found out about the loyalty to each other that they had and the people that were being chosen to be the foundation blocks of this company, the years of experience that they had, who was helping to fund and all of these things. Trust me, I checked it. We went in there and we checked everything. And then when I heard what the product was, I was blown away because I had heard about it before. And so when I heard what it was, I already knew. I knew without a shadow of doubt that this product would work and that it worked on every body based on the clinicals, right? I knew that. And so when I had that belief and that trust, then I took a look at, okay, if I'm coming on board, who is the support team that I personally am plugging into? And so the person who brought me on board, Michelle Camacho, we had worked together in the past. And she was a solid person who had years of background as well in the industry, knew her stuff. And that was important that I aligned myself with somebody that I could bank on, that I could trust, and that I knew what she was talking about. And then I went further to find out who brought her on board. And Lily Chauvin, if you know or have not had a chance to meet her, another dynamic powerhouse in the field of direct sales and network marketing. And so when I looked at that, I knew that this was the right place at the right time. It was what I had been praying and waiting for. And, so I knew that this was knocking at the door and there was no way that I could say no. I had to. And so, in these last 40 something days, we've been sharing this with everybody that we know and just letting them know, hey, be a part of this. Do not miss this train. It's leaving the station. And even if you're unsure, even if you don't know you've never built anything like this before in your life, don't miss this, because there's a team of people who will reach out. They will give you a hand up and they will walk you through how to do this. Just don't miss the boat, miss the train, whatever you want to call it. And so again, when I look at the people that have coordinated this event right here, rock solid people who have a heart and a passion to help other people. So again, that's really important. It's really important. I can't stress it enough, who you align yourself with and the company that you keep. And so with that, I'm not sure where this gets turned over to next, but I want to encourage you, hang on to Diana's coattails, whoever else has invited you on here, get your questions answered. No question is silly. Okay, just know that no question is silly. Be brave enough to ask it on here. If there's a Q&A in a little bit, if not, make sure whoever brought you on, get you in touch with somebody, get your question answered, because you don't want to be somebody down the road that goes, I should have. Don't be that person. So whoever wants to take this away, back to you guys.
Is that you or is that me?
That's you.
It's me. Hello, everybody. My name is Tim. I'm Shannon's husband for nearly 25 years now. We've been on a long journey together through that time, ups and downs, of course, like everybody has gone through. I spent a lot of time out of the home working. I was an insurance agent for about 7 years, built up some residual income there so I could take a little different approach at life in some areas. And in my time on the road, I ended up becoming a Dollar General fan. I basically found every dollar snack that I could find, and I consumed them and found an extra 60 pounds in my life over that period. Really, really struggled for about 5 years, just trying to figure out what I was going to do, where I was going. I met with pain specialists. I developed lupus and fibromyalgia. It just really attacked my body. And so I went down a very, very difficult road of healing my body as naturally as I could. I got off all 5 medications that I was on. I started consuming hemp and CBD and just trying to look at my body. And through that process, I really started to examine the science behind different things and how they worked, why they worked, when they worked. And so when Shannon told me about this company that she was looking at, and she said, hey, it's a weight loss product, a balancing, et cetera, I said, well, give me all the information. Let me dig. Let me find everything I can on it. And I want you to understand it so that you can explain it to people so that nobody misses the boat, right? Mm-hmm. If this is a legitimate thing, and I'm all conditional at the beginning, right? And so she gives me the information, and I start looking at it, and I go, hey, this is pretty solid. The process behind it makes sense. And as I looked at it deeper and deeper, there's a lot of things behind this that are beyond weight loss that everybody is going to start to notice. And the easiest way to get people to start to understand how powerful this is going to be is I'm assuming everybody in here, I haven't seen any guys on. I'm going to look through here. I don't know. Are there any guys on here? Oh, there's a couple. Yeah. All right. Hey, there we go. A couple. All right. So most of us have been in some kind of a relationship. And you understand that there are hormones in your body. Specific hormones can be extremely strong when they are directing your ideas, when they are directing your body and what it wants. And when you look at the sexual hormones in your body, they can take you down a long path that is extremely focused. Other hormones do the same thing in your body. And when you look at how leptin works, leptin is basically just directing the fat in your body to either store for later energy or use it now for energy. That's the simplicity of it. All right. You're going to have a product at your disposal that can basically take the bricks that you're dragging and use them to build a house. All right. It's going to bring you to the next level. When you tell hormones where to go, there's a lot of research and study, and we can share some of this through links afterward. WebMD has a ton of great research on it. There is nothing in your body that's going to happen. Nothing from digestion to triggering sleep that your body doesn't look at your leptin levels first before it decides if it's going to allocate energy. Does that make sense? You're talking about one of the most rudimentary parts of your body. As your as your hormones are going through your blood system and they're trying to go through these cell walls and bring oxygen everywhere and do their magnificent thing, they are first checking, is there fat there already? Do I need to split cells? Do I need to allocate energy? Or am I just going to put this over here for later because we got enough? How powerful is that communication process within your body? All right. There's a reason it was locked up for 14 years in litigation, because everybody wanted their own proprietary rights to sell this and offer this to people because it's going to change your life. Now, if you're talking about that just with fat, you're also going to experience things like sleep balance. And there's just tons of different research out there. Joint issues, you know, every one of your cells basically has a little fatty tissue around it, right? And hydration can play a effect on your joints. If you're not hydrated correctly, your joints start to hurt because you lose that cushion. And that fat going through your body, giving your cells the right protection, it's just amazing. So when I saw this all, I went, all right, this is cool. I love it. It's going to work. Now, what do you got going on in the company? How's it going to pay you? What's your benefits? Because if you're going to share, helping people, if you're going to share this with people, those people, everybody who's on here today is going, what's in it for me? What's my benefit, right? You've told me about the feature. You told me what it is. You told me the advantage. You told me how it's better than other things that are out there. You really can't, you can, but it's very, very difficult to adjust your leptin levels with foods because you're adding those fats into your system and you're really just pouring gas on a fire you're trying to put out with gas. I mean, it's very counterproductive when there's a simple way to do it. And so she starts telling me about the products, and she tells me the costs, which are extremely fair. I've done tons of different things. I've rarely seen anything that works that's less than a Starbucks grande latte. And so if you're on one of those every day or a couple times a month or a couple times a week, you're already in the range. Changing your life, the amount of energy you can have. My walk was 60 pounds uphill to get to where I'm at right now. I was doing over 100 push-ups a day, 100 sit-ups a day. I was walking miles. It was extremely brutal on my body. And the number one thing I learned, which blew me away about this leptin product, is that as I lost my weight, I lost my muscle. Anytime you lose weight in a physical activity or those energy productions, remember that leptin is checking what's going on everywhere in your body. And so it says, oh, I need muscle. Pull it from over here. I don't have enough protein in my system. I'll pull it from this muscle. And I was actually burning my muscle trying to lose weight. And this product in the studies has been proven that 100% of the weight loss is fat loss. That's miracle range, literally miracle range. So she tells me these products are available and they've got these packages, and I go, whoa, these packages are a lot of products, but what are they asking for these amounts of money for, and where's the value? And so I started looking at that, and there was a lot of people that were kind of combating the price and saying, what am I getting? And they didn't understand an NFT. They didn't understand the product completely, you know, and what am I getting to people? And so I was kind of asked to explain a little bit of that value to people and kind of how that works. And so these packages that they've got, there's 5 different packages that I know of so far, and understand I'm very new in this. I'm kind of doing secondhand conversations and my own research, so I'm going to direct you as best I can. But these packages, you can basically get a 1-month supply, right? You can get a 2-month supply, or you can decide if you want to share this with other people and earn some income off of it. All right. And there's 3 different levels of income earning possibility that you have, and they add gems to them. So there's like a ruby, a sapphire, and a diamond. All right. And what they've done, if you're familiar or you've heard the word NFT, that stands for non-fungible token. All right. And what that means is basically nothing to you. Okay. It's basically a term like a stock certificate. Okay. What the NFT, that token is it's got what's called blockchain, basically a digital code that's tied to it that allows you to have benefits. Think of carrying an NFT around like carrying around your Diamond Club card, or better yet, if any of you have ever flown, have you been privy to the Captain's Lounge? All right, that would be kind of a benefits package. If you're flying first class, or if you had premium points, you would get these benefits. Okay. Companies prior had tried tracking that through account numbers, and people would manipulate those. People tried tracking things through passwords, and those are manipulated. And the beauty of blockchain and NFTs is you cannot manipulate them. Every little dot, every little pixel that's in that picture is registered and tracked like a QR code barcode scanner. You've seen those before, right? And so your NFT that you will get tied to all these packages just is basically their tracking system for how they're going to pay you. All right. It's just basically keeping your commission schedule straight. And rather than doing it the old way, they're stepping into the new way. All right. And the new way is blockchain. I have 5, 6 different debit credit cards that all spend Bitcoin. I can put money on and off them. I rarely even use a bank anymore because I think banks are not fair. I think they don't do what they should with people's money. And so there's better ways to do it. And so we've got these packages that are tied to an NFT. That NFT is just tracking what commission level you're going to be at, basically your package that you're going to get. You also get bottles of product with that, lots of bottles. I think the top package in there has like 12 bottles, which would be what, a 6-month supply?
A year.
That's a year.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a year's supply, 12 bottles, yeah, because it's a bottle a month. So you're talking a year. You could give a couple of those away to some big people that you think would really go this. You can sell them at a discount. They're your bottles to do with whatever you want. In businesses that I've started and ran before and sold off, we always had loss leaders. We had products that we would have where we would bring them in and we would give them away or donate them or get, large organizations to try them out, and their word of mouth was the advertising. You don't need to buy a billboard. You can. They're $800 to $1,200 a month. Advertise that way. You can hop on the radio. That's $3 to $5 grand for a decent advertising campaign that'll last you a couple of months. You can advertise that way. I've sold tons of things. I've knocked doors in winter, door-to-door vacuum sales. I mean, I've done so many different things that I can't even really count sometimes. And the best way that anyone ever hears of something is from a friend through referral. You cannot beat that. It's heartfelt. It's honest. It has credibility and history. And so when you're looking at these packages, and anyone else can go through these better than I can, when you're going through these packages, know that each one of these levels with what it has tied to it is going to give you the benefits that come with it that are much greater than what you're investing into that package. One of the biggest things is the check match bonus. And I want to really touch on that because that was something that a lot of people miss in calculating what the value of those packages was. You can look at 12 bottles and that's a great value. All right. That's actually near what 3/4 or 2/3 of the entire package price. And then when they add that NFT for your commission tracking on there, now what you're doing is you're getting matched checks on all of your personal enrollees in the system. All right. In order to normally get a check match, you have to attain the level of that gem that you're trying to get to. Okay. So you're going to shoot for diamond. You need so many points in your system on 2 legs to keep you balanced enough to get that check, right? It's a check balance. So we're going to stay balanced. All right. And once you've got enough in both legs, you'll get that match. Well, if you're sitting here at 90% of what you need and the month rolls over, the company gets that bonus because it was a bonus, right? Or you get that bonus. The way I looked at it is, can I get back sales tax for the year, right? If you were giving back your sales tax for the year, would that add up? Huge, right? Those little 6, 7, 8% hugely add up. 15% on a hotel, right? If I can get that little percentage back, and if I end up missing my rank that I was shooting for to try to get to a bonus by 10 or 15%, 4 or 5 times in a year, that package paid for itself twice over. When you look at that top package, having a 5-year guarantee on that check match bonus, guys, if you have the ability, go for it. If you don't have the ability for that, go for the one below it. But I was on with a lady that Shannon had recruited the other day, a young, excited lady who's in the nursing field. And I told her one critical thing. I said, if you believe you're going to be on this planet 2 to 5 years from now, that person wants to be happy too. So start investing into them, write them a few checks, give them what they need so that their stress level is lower than 2022 Tim's stress level is. And when you do that, all of a sudden you're going to see that if you can help your future self, you can help some other people too. And that's kind of what I have. So Diane, back to you, or Shannon.
Okay, I guess it comes back to me. And I want to let everybody know we do have Michelle here, and we are going to do a Q&A, and Michelle has offered to help us out with the Q&A. So thank you so much, Michelle. And Michelle is who Elaine mentioned that she came in under. I'm so excited because Michelle and I have been friends for, I think we came up with 11 years, something like that. She was a top income earner at a previous company my first company. She was. So you know that I've looked at her like, oh my gosh, she's like the most amazing person on the planet because she's a top income earner. And she took time for me, the brand new newbie. And we've remained friends over the years. And when I heard about this opportunity, I was really excited to know that Michelle was a part of it. So that was one of the things that influenced me, is all of the top income earners and leaders from a few different companies who already were here. I'm like, sign me up. I mean, I think people who have been around a long time probably know more than I do. So I was kind of like, I will follow the leaders, right? One of the things that excited me was the clinical trials. We have a lot of people who are saying, well, I want to wait until I see what it does for me. And I'm like, but the clinical trials, 100% of the people lost weight. Wasn't 90%, wasn't 90, it was 100%. That includes me. And I can't lose weight no matter what I do. So I'm looking forward to being one of those 100%. They didn't lose just a little bit. They lost 90% more than the placebo group. So I'm good with that. Then we have the money back guarantee for anyone. Once before, I had a money back guarantee on a product, and only one person in the 5 years that I had that product ever went for the money back guarantee. Companies give money back guarantees when they are sure that they have a product that's going to work, right? The one person who did ask for their money back had an allergy. So it wasn't the product, it was they had an allergy. Oop. They say remind me. Okay. This product also has me excited because all the time that I've been in the industry, about 15 years, I have heard about this product for at least 10 years. From time to time, someone would say, I once had a product that was so amazing. The results were so rapid and so huge that people who didn't have any intention of selling something because they were afraid to talk to the doorknob actually made a ton of money because the product worked so well. Their friends saw it and they wanted it, and their friends wanted it, and their friends wanted it. And it just became a snowball of everyone wanting the product. So we're going to be seeing a snowball that nobody can even imagine pretty soon. Those people who had no intentions of being reps, who accidentally became reps, became order takers. They didn't have time to reach out to anybody because so many people were contacting them. How do I get it? How do I get it? How do I get it? We're going to experience that. And I am so excited. So that's basically all that I have. And I think we want to open it up now to Q&A. And Michelle, do you want to add anything, Michelle, before we start the Q&A?
I just want to say everybody did such a great job. Like Tim, I never heard you speak before, but my goodness, what a great explanation that you did in your story. Incredible. You did a fantastic job explaining the NFTs and the value in those packs and the commission structure, all that stuff. Fantastic. So that's just what I wanted to add. But yeah, I'm ready. Fire away. Who's got questions? Actually, question for you guys. How many on here are guests that maybe haven't enrolled yet? Do we have people that are still deciding? Or has everybody made the decision to pay the $50 and become a member?
Looks to me like we have pretty much members that are here.
Members? Okay.
We want to encourage everybody. We're going to do the same thing tonight at 8 Central. And please invite guests. If you heard things that you think, wow, I would really like it if my friend heard it in this way, invite them.
And if nobody has a question, I do have a story I can share.
Yeah.
I've got stories. I got stories for days, you guys.
Well,
first of all, let me just tell you about this product. Okay. So I've been on it. I was on it since August 26th. I ran out, and at the end, I am like literally taking half doses, like breaking capsules, like trying not to run out because I don't want to stop the weight loss, right? I'm like, man, month 2 meltdown, and I couldn't do it because I only had 1 bottle. But anyway, I stayed at my sponsor's house for a couple of days in Orlando, and totally she shared some with me. But what I wanted to share was I didn't gain any weight in that time when I wasn't taking the product. I did notice a little bit of like, oh, I'm kind of hungrier again. So that was neat. It was really kind of a neat contrast to see. And I've lost 9 pounds now, but girl, I look like I lost 20. Like when you look at the weight, because it's fat, right? As Tim was saying, it's like there's no muscle being lost. It is 100% fat. So the inch loss is absolutely insane. And just to piggyback off of what you were talking about, Diana, when you were saying, sorry about that, just a second. Honey, that would be your phone. Oh my God, sorry. To piggyback off what you were saying about accidental businesses getting started and people accidentally making money because the product is so good and everybody wants to talk to you and all that stuff. So I also, to piggyback off of that, you don't ever want to like prejudge people that you're talking to about this product because you never know who's going to show up and who's going to know who and how it's going to, roll out, right? How that's going to, I want to share a story about how the business where I met Diana, that was the first business. And we also had a weight loss product that took off for me, right? Really took off, like made like really good money, like the money that I would used to make in a year, I was making in a month, good money. and how that happened. I got to share this story with you. I call it my my old man story. So I apologize if anybody here is in the age bracket I'm going to share, because I just always called it my old man story. So we had, it was a capsule. It was loaded in stimulants. And it was horrible for you, but it did work. Okay. And how we built that was with these 3-day samples. And because people were like, they were dropping 5 pounds in 3 days, but it was like totally water and whatever. Anyway, so something in me at the beginning of that business just said, follow every lead, right? Like don't leave any rock unturned, right? And so I am basically dialing for dollars at that point. We didn't really, go on Facebook much, didn't really use Messenger. It was still kind of the stone age of network marketing back then, 11 years ago. And so I'm dialing for dollars. I call this guy named Jack. He's like 78 years old. He lives in Minnesota. And Jack, I tell him about the product and he says, well, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I'd like to try it. So I'm like, okay. So I send Jack a sample and he says, I don't really have a ton of money, so I don't know. So calls me back a few days later. He's like, yeah, that product's pretty good. But like I said, I don't really have any money. So I don't think I can sign up. And I'm like, all right. A couple days later, I get a call from Jack's friend, Phil, right? Phil's also in Minnesota. He's also like 78. And he says, you know what, I was talking to Jack and Jack said you had this interesting product and I think I'd like to try it. And I said, okay. So I sent Phil a sample and Phil calls me back a few days later and he's like, this product's really great. I don't have a lot of money either though, but I do have enough to sign up. It's $50 to sign up and I can buy a single bottle. And because Jack has no money and he introduced me, I'm going to sign him up and pay for him too. So now I've got these two guys, Jack and Phil from Minnesota in their 70s, all signed up with a $50 membership and a single bottle of that product. Okay, let's see where this goes. So Phil says, you know what, you really got to talk to my friend Tom. I said, okay, let's call Tom. So call Tom. Tom's 85 and Tom just had a hernia operation. So we couldn't talk to him right away. It had to be another week later. So we call him back a week later. Tom says to me, you know what, back in the day in the 80s, I used to make $1 million a year and Tahitian know me. And I was like, what? That's so cool. Right. I wasn't really expecting much. He's in his 80s and whatever. So, but Tom says, you know what, we should really call my friend John. John lives in Vancouver, Canada. And I said, okay, let's call John. So we called John, tell John about the product. John's like, yeah, okay, I'll try it. So I sent him a couple samples. And John calls me back and he's like, yeah, this is a pretty good product. You know what, we should really talk to my friend Dave. Okay, let's call Dave. So we called Dave. Dave would not give me the time of day. He did not want to talk to me about network marketing or anything. So it was hard. And I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'm just going to send you a sample anyway, Dave. And I got his address from John. Dave was in London, Ontario, just a couple hours down the road from where I live. So I sent him a couple samples for him and his wife. About a week later, Dave calls me back and he's like, okay, I'm signing up. We got a great result in the product. I'm coming in with the big pack and I'm going to start piling them in. I'm like, okay. Right, and see where this is going to go. And did it ever go? Dave led me to about 17,000 distributors. Oh, I get chills when I think about it. Right, and it was a weight loss product. It was simple. You take a pill, you lose the weight, and their training done. Right, and a lot of people would come onto that thing and they'd be like, I don't really want to share it, but I'll try the product. I'm just like, just wait for it. Okay, because they'd always come back. Well, my friend, she saw me and she's like, what are you doing? And I told her about the product and I think I should probably become a distributor now because everybody wants the product. I'm like, yeah, I told you that. Right. And then the same thing would just happen over and over and over again. Right. And that product, we only had it for a year because it was horrible for you and it had a bunch of stimulants in it. But I tell you, if I still had that product, Diana and I, if we still had that product today, like we would have been like retired on an island somewhere because of how fast that thing went. Right. And so when we got the call about this company and knew that we had this product, this formulation that we knew about, Elaine and I knew about this back in 2008, we knew about this product, knew exactly what it was going to do. Like when we heard that it was that formulation, like seriously lost my mind. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks because I know exactly what's going to happen again. It's going to be like that company where I met Diana, only bigger because of the simplicity. It's like just a couple of ingredients that are already approved by a bunch of countries around the world because that product was already approved by all the countries around the world. It's simple, no red flags, no stimulants, no appetite suppressants, nothing bad in it. We get to take the exact same product that we get in North America and ping pong it all around the globe to all these different markets. And that never happens, right? Any of you have been in network marketing before, you know that America always gets the good stuff. right? Then they have to change it to send it to Canada because Health Canada always has a problem with ingredients. And the same thing happens in Australia, same thing happens in the UK. And so you've got the good product in USA, and then you got all these like fake products, or not fake, but just not as good products that try to duplicate that success around the world, and that always fizzles out. Well, it's not going to happen here. We get to take that exact same product and take this thing around the globe with patents, clinical trials. We can make certain claims about the product. Everybody is going to get a great result on this product. I cannot wait to start the chat rooms to start blowing up with you guys saying, oh my gosh, like I can't even believe it. I'm back in this pair of jeans. I haven't fit into it in like 5 years or whatever. I cannot wait for that. That is my favorite part. It is the joy. There's nothing quite like the joy that you're going to get, not only from your own results, but from the results of the people that you share it with, right? When they start coming back to you, because it is a ripple effect, right? It is a ripple effect of joy that radiates throughout these people when they start feeling good about themselves. Everything changes in their world. They treat themselves better. They treat the people around them better, their husbands, their wives, their kids, their dogs, whatever. They treat everybody better. They are happier. And that joy that you're all about to experience as we launch this thing, that my friends, I cannot wait for that. So if there's any questions or anything else you want me to cover, happy to do so. You let me know.
I've got a question. You mentioned you mentioned claims. Typically in any of the network marketing products for weight loss, you can talk about weight management, but you can't say weight loss. You know, how far do we go? What's different with this?
Well, it's anything that's written in that clinical trial. So the average fat loss, 21.3 pounds over an 8-week period. The inch loss that happened, the percentage that leptin came down and adiponectin went up, like all of those things that are on the clinical trial, they're on the slides. If you go into the Awaken corporate group, the pre-launch slide deck, they've got all of those, this whole slide that talks about all the things that we're allowed to say. So anything that's on there, you're allowed to say. We're allowed to make those claims.
And I want to add something to that just real quick is that's the real key, Jim, is most of the time in the other companies, because I owned, operated, and manufactured in a cannabis company as well. You couldn't make the medical claims because you didn't have the clinical trial and study. That's why you couldn't make it, because there wasn't the medically proven published data to back up the claim that you were making. That is what makes this so much different and so much more powerful. Besides the fact that it's natural, and when you go non-natural is when you get your side effects because it's amplified and synthesized and isolated. So you've got the best, really the best of both worlds. You've got clinical trials, medical studies, and journals proving the truth of it. And then you've got the natural version without the side effects. Double win.